Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we got the 5th sneak peek for the upcoming X-Men update. And this one, while it may be something that you have come to expect now with previous sneak peeks and all of the breakdowns that I've had to offer you guys, it is still a pretty significant change of events and kind of turn to know that it's confirmed and to get a bit more light as to exactly what we can expect. So what am I talking about? But Al, this is sneak peek number 5 if you have not seen it, and I'm showing it to you on Mobirum rather than just showing you the image because there's actually a lot that we can learn from the other Moburums, and this is where I put my Sherlock Holmes hat on, and you got to strap in for some detective work, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the English Moburum, and what we have here is pretty much nothing. Our intelligence agents have intercepted an encrypted transmission. What's the encrypted transmission? A machine is being activated by this transmission. Wow. How many geniuses over at Moburum did it take to write that? At least 5, I would say. So, you know, they worked all day and night to put that together. Whatever. They can't spoil anything. I understand it has to be a teaser. It has to be fluff. I get that. But we know that we're getting the Sentinels. But hold on. Hang on. That artwork over there is really good. It's really solid. It's really detailed for just a Sentinel. If we're just getting a new kind of opponent type, it doesn't usually look like that. If you've done the heroic missions and you've taken a close-up look at some of the in-game models for some of the enemy types that we have, I'm talking going into any story mission and just looking on the sides where it shows you who you're going to be up against. These guys right over here, it's not pretty. Netmarble spent pennies, not dollars, designing these bad boys. Clearly 99% of the budget goes into designing the real characters that we play with, not the kind of robo monsters that we slaughter day in and day out. So it's a bit strange to see a Sentinel that we presume is going to be some sort of nameless enemy that we're destroying in such high detail. So that's kind of the first clue that there may be something else going on here. Then you, use your translation skills, your Rosetta Stones, your whatever the bird is called, Duolingo, and you go over to the Taiwanese or the Chinese. I know it's not the same, but whatever. Moburum, and you see this one. So whatever the identity of the unidentified people who have been threatening the mutants has been identified. So you remember that calls back to the Magneto sneak peek where we saw someone scanning Magneto and calling Magneto a threat. They are machines, we know that, designed by the genius scientist. Okay, it's just bad translation. They mean Trask. And if you've seen the animated show or read the comics or watched the movie, Trask is one of the Lannisters, and so he is from a very powerful family in Westeros, but he actually kills his father with a crossbow while he's taking a shit because his dad was having sex with his prostitute girlfriend. So anyways, it's a long story, but essentially Trask is a guy with a mustache in the 1970s who is designing the robots, the Sentinels, because he wants to get revenge on the Sentinels for killing his father or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, Trask, not Tesseract or Trescalax or Nikola Tesla or Elon Musk. None of that. Trask. Anyways, but here's the important part, the part that I'm going to stop rambling about. Super Destructive, the new character, debuts. Will his appearance be a blessing or a curse? The people who can suppress him are the agents. I don't know if that's us or the mutants, as in the characters. The Singularity, which is the GM or the CM, the community manager, is about to start searching for information. Don't worry, CM, I've done all the searching for the information that you'll need. You go over to the Japanese Moburum. Of course, you have to right-click and hit Translate to English. Let's not be honest here. I'm not translating this myself. Hulkbuster here says again, the machines designed by the genius scientist Trask to protect humanity, strong destructive weapons, new villain Sentinel appeared. So usually the words villain or hero are only thrown around when it's an actual character, which fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you feel about it, means that we possibly are getting the Sentinel as a character in the game, a la Marvel Contest of Champions. And while I know some of you guys are going to immediately say, oh, Cynicalex, it's going to look so weird, it's not. Okay, you guys want Galactus in the game, he's going to have to get shrunk down. You guys wanted Dormammu in the game, and he's in the game, and honestly, he looks like a badass. I don't really care that he's not 100 feet tall or whatever the hell, that's not Dormammu, or whatever the hell you came to expect. They can figure it out, okay? He looks cool, it's fine. The size thing, it's not, the size of your game, the size of your character doesn't matter. It's what you do with it, okay guys? You can quote me on that one. Snapchat your bestie with that one, okay? And then it says here, while the Sentinel becomes a deadly poison or a weight of true peace, it depends on the agent. Again, so that depends on us. It seems pretty bizarre. So then I went the extra mile for you guys. Extra mile, not really. I picked up some of these clues from Reddit, admittedly. You go over to the Korean Cafe Naver forum because they don't actually use mobile room because they think they're better than us or whatever. I don't know why they don't use it, but actually I cut this off, which is really unfortunate. So let me just quickly fix this here. But basically they're saying the exact same thing. They're saying that there's something going on, and the Sentinel could be an enemy or it could be a friend. So again, the powerful destruction weapon, new hero Sentinel appeared, and this time they call him Truck, which is amazing, by the way. You are the agent who can control whether Sentinel will be a deadly poison or a path to true peace. I will leave Natasha again. So basically, I don't really know what to make of this, so I want to definitely pass the question on to you guys, and I want to, of course, open the floodgates to tons of speculation. There's a couple things that we can kind of glean from this. It's possible that we're going to get a Sentinel that is like Destroyer, in the sense that it is neither hero nor villain, and it basically just boils down to how you want to use the character. In Destroyer's case, you can see that if you go to his details page, he just says neutral. His side is neutral. It's not hero or villain. It's possible that we could get a character that we can control whether their side is hero or villain, which would be great. I'm obviously going to make the Sentinel villain because we need more villains, but that's just me. It could also be that depending on how you build the character in terms of giving it certain items, they will become either a hero or a villain. It could be that you do something else in the game with the character specifically to manipulate whether it's a hero or character, or a hero or a villain. I think that would be really cool. But ultimately, my stance on it is that I don't know, and I just want to wait and see. But it also is a possibility that's just something being lost in translation. But it also could mean that we're getting a new type of character customization, which is cool. Now, should they do this for other characters? Yes and no. I don't want it for every single character, but for certain characters, I think it makes more sense than others. For example, Captain America with his, not Civil War, with the Marvel Now uniform, you could argue that he's a villain with this uniform. And other characters with other iterations have had their roles as kind of anti-heroes or even as villains, and vice versa. And some people, of course, in the comments will say Thanos did nothing wrong, so he should be a hero, and the list kind of goes on and on and on. But personally, I have to say that rewinding all the way back to the beginning, I don't really want Sentinels as playable characters. I may be in the minority here, I understand, and this is just my opinion, so definitely voice your opinion in the comments, but I really was hoping, and having them as characters doesn't mean we can't have them as a game mode, but I was really hoping that the Sentinels would come into Marvel Future Fight as part of a game mode. And in that sense, of course, we've already talked about it, but I did mention specifically a new type of Shadowland, including Sentinels, perhaps only playable by mutant characters, which would encourage the building of mutants, which would make the X-Gene sub more valuable, because right now there's just so few characters to sell us on it. And so they could do that for Shadowland. We could have a new world boss that is Sentinel themed, or is, a bunch of different Sentinels, and so on and so forth. There's so many different things that they can do with the Sentinels that make sense from kind of an NPC point of view, a non-playable character, like the Frost Beast, like the Ultron robots, etc. But unfortunately, it seems as though we're probably getting a character. Now, yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. It's still cool, don't get me wrong, it's still cool, but I personally would have preferred it to be a new game mode rather than a new character. I think a Sentinel Barbie is nice, but a Sentinel Playhouse would have been fantastic. Now, it is, again, possible that we could get both, and that would be the best case scenario, but I've learned in my 3+ years of, playing this game and my, 2 years of covering this game, I think we've gone over the 2-year anniversary. Happy anniversary, guys. Expecting to have your cake and eat it too when discussing Netmarble and Marvel Future Fight is probably not possible. So let me know what you guys think of that sneak peek, and let me know what your thoughts are on the Sentinel. Finally, I want to catch you guys up on some World Boss Ultimate feats that I've been able to accomplish. In order to do that, I want to quickly run over some changes, slight changes that I've made to some existing characters in order to be able to clear higher stages. So of course you guys know that I built up Strife. I did a review on him. He's rocking a CTP of energy, and he's been pretty pivotal in some of my game mode World Boss Ultimate clears. Additionally, while it may be a little bit harder to spot, my Cable has been slowly creeping up from level 60 to level 66. We're still not quite at 70 because I'm trying to save my Phoenix Feathers and get as close to the cap as possible for when the update hits, so I have as many resources as possible for Gambit, Nightcrawler, Magneto, and all the other, hopefully, characters, Iceman, etc. So with that being said, I also got Scarlet Witch to a CTP of energy. That I kind of made that decision because she only has 2 skills or 3 skills that deal mind damage rather than the full 5. And so desperately trying to roll a mind damage obelisk with a 180 or a 200 proc when I wasn't even able to get one for Psylocke is probably, a fool's kind of gold idea. So with a surplus of CTPs of energy, and if you want to know why I have so many CTPs of energy, you're gonna have to check out the Twitch streams. I decided to give her one, and I got a 200% damage proc. So with those new changes, I was able to get pretty far in a couple of different stages. Now, Scarlet Witch with the proc allowed me to get all the way up to stage 49 of Ebony Maw, which is pretty impressive. The challenges, if you're wondering, for stage 50 are to clear it with Doctor Strange. So I have to just basically take in Scarlet Witch plus a support like Coulson, and then Doctor Strange just sits there and sits back and watches Scarlet Witch do all the damage. For the other stages with Deadpool, I've been able to push up to stage 55. Actually, yeah, 55 on last night's live stream with 2 supports. That's Shuri and Valkyrie rocking side by side, and I think he can go a little bit higher, possibly to 59 with the current build that I have. So super impressive, pulling those mythic booty boxes and getting, you guessed it, garbage rewards. As far as Thanos goes, probably the most difficult World Boss Ultimate, I've been able to rock all the way up to stage 26, or excuse me, 25. 26 has proven quite difficult, but I was able to do it with a combination of Strife and Cable and Thanos. And if you guys want to check out these rankings, and you can check out the teams that are being used. Actually, I didn't even use Cable. I just used She-Hulk with Strife. He's actually very, very good for Thanos specifically. So if you have him, you should try it out. It's actually quite fun, and his mobility with his 3rd skill makes him quite good. For the last couple, I'm going to skip Cull Obsidian because I don't really care too much about him. But for Proxima Midnight, I've recently started playing her again after taking a long break when all the other World Boss Ultimates were introduced, and I was able to get to stage 39, which is pretty awesome. The stage 39 or the stage 40 challenges include Black Panther, which I think is amazing because my favorite team for clearing this, well, maybe not the easiest one, is Ghost Panther, Ghost Rider, and Black Panther. So it's a pretty interesting thematic team, and it goes something like this, and it looks really cool when you're playing with them because they all strike for each other. There's a great co-op skill where they all jump out, and it's just got a great kind of fire slash badass theme to it. And you've got the support, you've got the leadership. It kind of just all fits together so perfectly. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to highlight some of my teams and some of the builds that I've been doing for some of my characters so you guys can get a flavor for what's going on. If this kind of stuff excites you and you want to see it live, you know where to find me. Hit me up on Twitch. Of course, when the update goes live in whatever, a few days to a week, also make sure you're on Twitch to get the first scoop on all of the new content. And as always, guys, I appreciate the support. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.